Ken Whiting here with yet another gear comparison. And in this video, I am comparing the NRS Neutron and the Alpacka Expedition. Both are Packrafts. I've done full reviews of both of these boats separately. I'll leave a link to those full reviews in the description box down below. This video isn't about which one's better, because that's an impossible question to answer. One isn't better than the other. I mean, I can tell you from the reviews I did, I love both of these boats. The big question I'm trying to answer is, which is the right one for you? Because they are different boats. What makes these boats different? Well, the different style of these boats really comes from the fact that the Alpacka Expedition has this removable deck. Well, this is a removable deck. You can also get it with a fixed deck, and the deck has a cockpit coaming that takes a skirt, and it comes with a skirt, so that it's used much more like a whitewater kayak, and that it's designed to keep any water from coming inside the boat. The NRS Neutron, on the other hand, it doesn't have a deck of any type. It's not designed to stop waves from splashing water inside the boat. What it has instead is it has this inflatable floor, and it's got holes in the floor underneath that, which create a self-bailing boat. What happens is water that comes in, the inflatable floor tries to rise, and that pushes the water to the side and lets it drain through the holes. Much like a sit-on-top kayak drains through scupper holes. The difference here is that this boat is designed to keep all water out. This boat isn't. They're both designed to handle whitewater, but this boat will be able to handle more challenging whitewater than the Neutron. The reason for that is, even though it's self-bailing, the water will drain out if it gets filled up. While it's draining, you have literally a couple hundred pounds of water in the boat, and that'll dramatically impact your maneuverability until the water is drained. That means if the water is very technical, very big, very continuous, this can cause problems, and that's why the Alpacka Expedition is designed for more challenging whitewater, up to class 4, whereas the NRS Neutron is designed for less technical whitewater, up to around class 3. So now let's talk outfitting. The Alpacka Expedition has a high-performance back band, it has high-performance thigh hooks, and it has an inflatable foot brace. Now, the NRS Neutron has a high-performance back band, it has very basic thigh hooks or thigh braces, which can be upgraded, but it has no foot brace. So what does that say? Well, it basically supports what we just talked about. The Alpacka Expedition is designed to provide a tighter, higher performance fit than the NRS Neutron to be able to paddle more challenging whitewater, whereas the NRS Neutron has the outfitting it needs to very competently paddle up to class 3 whitewater. And if you do want to upgrade the thigh hooks, you can. The most important thing, in my opinion, for both of these boats is a high performance back band. That gives you the support and therefore the comfort that you need for a long day of paddling, whether it's on flat water or in whitewater. So now let's talk about the materials that the boats are made of, which goes hand in hand with the boat's weights. The Alpacka Expedition is 8.4 pounds. I mean, how awesome is that you can have a whitewater worthy boat at 8.4 pounds. The main hull of the boat is made with a 210 denier nylon that's TPU coated on one side. I'll get more into what TPU coating means. Now, the floor of the Alpacka is an 840 denier nylon that is TPU coated on both sides. The NRS Neutron, it weighs 12.2 pounds. So that's about 50% more than the Alpacka, although still incredibly light for a boat that's whitewater worthy. The main body, it's made from a 420 denier nylon, TPU coated on both sides, and a floor, same as the Alpacka, an 840 denier nylon that's TPU coated on both sides. The big difference here is that the Alpacka has a lighter material for the main body of the boat. In fact, half the strength of the NRS Neutron. But what do you get for that? You get the weight savings. You get 4 pounds less overall for the Alpacka Expedition. Now let's talk about the TPU coating. What it is over top the fabric, it's this like almost this malleable plastic layer that goes on the outside that makes it airtight, watertight, durable. Now, if you have the coating just on the outside, that's a great protective membrane, But if you get a deep scratch or you just wear over time, you wear through that, well, all of a sudden you can have a leak right through the boat. Whereas if you have dual TPU coating, TPU coating on the inside and outside of the fabric, if you get the wear and deep scratch on the outside, you're not going to get a leak because you have the TPU coating on the inside. In order to have a leak, you need a complete puncture. You need something that has to go completely through it. And so that's what you get with the NRS Neutron, is the dual TPU coating on the main body. They both have it on the floor, but the Neutron has it on the main body. The result of that is increased durability. You got a more robust material on the main body here, but you also have the dual TPU coating. The NRS Neutron is definitely a more durable boat. The trade-off is weight. It's 4 pounds heavier. There's no right or wrong here. This is where it really comes down to you. What's most important to you? A more durable boat or a lighter boat? Now, a few more similarities and differences to talk about. Before I do, I have to do something I've done a few times this year and remind all of you about ACA's online paddle sport safety course, which is absolutely free and that everybody needs to take. Their full course, it doesn't take that long, but it gives you a lot of great information, whether it's your first time, you're new to paddling and you need that safety information, or you're an experienced paddler, just needs a refresher course. Take the online free paddle sport safety course. But also ACA came out with 3 new modules this year: a kayak rescues module, a rules of the road, so if you're paddling in bodies of water that have motorized traffic, and then a kayak fishing module. Short modules, little add-ons with great information for those things. Definitely worth taking. I'm going to leave links in the description box down below so that you can just click right over and do it. So do it. Actually, don't do it now. Do it after this video, right away. All right. But let's get back to it. The Alpacka and the Neutron. They share a lot of similarities. You know, one of the things they both have, which is really nice, is the stern tie zip closure, which allows you to access the inside of the Packrafts for storage, for multi-day trips in particular. And they also have tie down points on the inside so that you can tie the gear that you put in, and so it's not just sliding up and down the boat. Now, one thing I wish they both had was a couple more tie down points on the outside of the boat, in particular in the stern. I noticed on a multi-day trip that I did that it wasn't easy to tie gear to the outside of the boat, gear that I didn't want to store in the boat for the day. And so a few more tie down points, in particular in the stern, would be very welcomed. Now, one slight difference that's worth noting about the NRS Neutron over the Alpacka Expedition, and I believe any Alpacka boat, is the lack of the seam tape. The Alpacka has the seam tape here, the NRS doesn't. And the reason it doesn't have any seam tape is because NRS has a seam welding process that they've developed over decades of making whitewater rafts and whitewater inflatable kayaks, where they don't need the seam tape. And it's just nice not to have. It cleans it up. Nice not to have the seam tape on the boat. So the final big difference is price. The Alpacka Expedition retails for between $17.25 and $18.25 US, depending on whether you get a removable deck or a fixed deck on this thing. The NRS Neutron retails for between $11.50 and $1200 US, depending on whether you get the regular size or the extra large size, which I have the extra large here. That's $500 to $600 of difference. That's a big difference. So what do you get for $500 to $600 more with the Alpacka? Well, pretty obvious. The deck, that whole deck system, including the cockpit combing, it comes with a basic skirt so that it's ready to go. You also get the high performance thigh hook system, the inflatable foot brace system, and you get a boat that's 4 pounds lighter. So who is the Alpacka Expedition designed for? Well, the Expedition is an all-round pack raft, flat water to whitewater. It's designed, though, to be able to handle some really challenging whitewater, definitely up to class 4. It's designed for somebody who wants a high-performance whitewater boat and the high-performance outfitting that comes with that. It's also designed for somebody who wants the 4-pound weight saving over the Neutron. Now, that's a big deal. And that could be for somebody who is going on some pretty deep backcountry adventures, carrying the boat a long way. And those 4 pounds add up to mean a lot over time. So who's the Neutron for? Well, the Neutron is also an all-round packraft, which is designed for flat water, but also for whitewater up to around class 3. It's for someone who doesn't need a high-performance whitewater boat, but something that can handle some real whitewater. It's designed for someone who values durability more than weight savings, and it's for somebody who doesn't want to spend the extra $500 or $600 on a higher performance boat.
Yeah, not doing that.
So there you have it. I hope this has helped you make the choice between these two great packrafts. I love them both. And I'll leave links to both the reviews, the full reviews I did of both of these boats, one of which, in this one, I pushed this boat to really to the limits and ended up swimming in a rapid for the first time in over a decade. And then I tested this sucker here on a backcountry multi-day adventure that was just awesome. I did a gear review and a full video of that adventure. I'll leave all the links down below. Check those out. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. That always helps. Subscribe to Paddle TV if you haven't already, because I have lots more paddling tips, gear reviews, and paddling adventures coming your way.